analytics. So for them, what are the different tech stacks that will come up? So we will basically discuss all of these today. And then at the end, we will discuss what all we are going to cover in our entire course. And finally, we will land into a discussion of the schedule. And as we started from today and then moving forward, what would be our schedule for next 1 month? And at the same time, we will also understand what will be the deliverables and how we are going to engage and participate overall. So these are the things that we are going to discuss in order to set the context of today's lecture. So let me start with a key introduction to like what is data and how the data analytics looks like and how the data science looks like. Okay. But before I come to this slide, like the major impact that I get to see with data is what we will discuss now. So what do you mean by data? So the first thing that really strike in my mind is whatever you are having, whatever you are able to sense. So everything is data. Okay. So data doesn't mean that it is all about a structured set of information. Maybe only the bank details or the transaction details are data, but eventually a speech, audio, video, these are also acting as a data. Okay. And we will also discuss that how it got evolved over the period of time, like the overall transition that we get to see got evolved over the period of time, and how there is a shift came into place where we get to see more and more use of data comes in picture. So at first, we will discuss on what are the different uh, set of things that we get to see with analytics, and we will also discuss the use cases accordingly. So, so data, as I said, it is not only always a structure. So structured data is one type of it, where you define the data in form of rows and columns. Okay. So you have the data in form of rows and columns. While you also have unstructured data, sorry, unstructured data, where you have uh, the data in form of photos, videos, okay, photos and then videos. So these are the different forms of data. In analytics, especially data analytics course is very much subjective to structured data. Means we assume that we always have the data in form of rows and columns. Means the data can be stored in an Excel sheet, or the data can be stored in a database, structured database, where you have rows and where the data is in form of rows and columns. Data can have multiple dimension. When I said dimension, means you can have n number of Excel spreadsheets. You can have n number of tables. Okay. You can also have different number of schemas. So schemas are nothing but the design of the table. So in our course, we will discuss all of these in much deeper, and we will see the real-time examples. But here today, what I'm trying to explain you that everything which can be represented in a rows and columns, like in a spreadsheet, are defined as a structured. Anything which is above or different from what we discuss, rows and columns, is defined as an unstructured data. So like photos, videos, audios, speech, okay, all of these are defined as unstructured data because you cannot store everything in form of rows and columns. Everything is measured in a different way. So for those things, it is known as unstructured data. So the analytics part, okay, the analysis part of the data, okay, which is always with structured data. So as of now, in this entire course, Unstructured data comes into the later phase of it. At the beginning, we will mostly focus on this structured data. Okay. So let's see some good amount of use cases which really excites us to look at into structured data, that what all we can do it. Okay. So first of all, we can let's say some of the real-time use case. So first use case, I can take it off predicting revenue, predicting revenue year on year. Okay, if I can predict how much revenue we will make year on year, okay, so then that's a very good use case, right? And it is applicable for any company. Like predicting the revenue is applicable for any given set of industry. Maybe it is a food industry, or maybe it is a cosmetics or beauty industry, or maybe it is a retail industry. Revenue is something everybody wants to know. What is the next year revenue? Okay. Some other use case related to it: predict whether the customer will visit by next year, or by not by visit you in next 6 months. So let's say you have a list of customers and you want to understand that how many of them comes in next 6 months. Okay, then you will proactively know, right, that who are the set of customers who are going to come, or who are my potential customers. Okay, determine or predict, I would say, the amount which customer will spend. So it is always not like, if you, let's say a customer, as a right example Kunal has said, that a customer can only spend up to, let's say, somewhere around $5,000. Okay, customer can spend up to $5,000, but if you try to sell something around, let's say, $70,000, then it's a complete mismatch, right? So if you know that which customer can spend what amount, then in that case it becomes much easier to estimate that what product we can leverage to that particular customer. If I leverage a product of $6,000 to a customer who can have a spend limit of 5,000, still it is a manageable. Still, the customer can think of, okay, that okay, I can spend up to 5,000, but still okay. Let's say if I like the product, then I can go up to 6,000 as well, right? So, but if I try to sell something of $70,000, which is completely unrealistic and doesn't make any sense, the customer, the cost of reaching out to that customer is waste, right? So we need to understand who is my right prospect. Also, we need to understand whether that prospect is interested or not, right? So these are some of the things which every business need. It's a need of every business. How well, whether you are interested or not in buying a stuff, or whether you are, if you are interested, then how much you can spend. Okay. So these are some of the things that you can solve using analytics. Now, this can be applicable across, as I said, all the industry. Okay, all the industry you can make it applicable. Now, I will go industry specific use cases. So whatever I said above use cases, these are irrespective of industry, can be applicable to any given industry. Now I will jump into some, let's say, retail industry. I will write it here. Retail analytics. There are a lot of companies like Walmart. Okay, there are the companies like your Tesco. Okay. So these are the companies who are actively looking for the solutions towards retail analytics. Okay. And where we try to basically also discuss about like what are the different problems that retail industry face. So one of the problem that the retail industry face is high shelf life. Predict predict the high shelf life of the product. So let's say as a retail store, okay, let's say as a retail store or a retail company like Walmart, they have near about millions of product, okay, and those are across different countries, right? It's not limited to a country. And if you see, let's take only India, okay, as I see most of the crowd from India. So let's take an example of India. So in India, we have so many states, 20 plus states with 5 to 6 plus union territories. Every state has their own set of product that we use it. So you go to Hyderabad, you use a different set of product, different set of brand which operates. Some of the brands are common brands, right? But not all the product. Some of the products are very specific to a specific continental areas, or some of those brands are very specific to a specific region. So I still remember when I used to uh, stay in Bangalore, there is a company called Mysore Sandal, Sandal soap, something like this. Okay. So the Mysore soap, right? Now, this particular brand is very, very prominent in the southern region of India, okay, mostly Karnataka. But as I move to Hyderabad, their presence of that particular brand gets lost. Okay, means I don't say lost, but the need or the prominence of that particular brand is bit lowered. Okay, people still use the same Mysore sandal soap here as well, but the need, the demand, and everything is bit less prominent. Now you go to Delhi, okay, you may not get to see that actively. Means maybe the brand is present in Delhi as well, but it is in a dormant state. Okay, so this particular brand is a local brand, which which is much preferred by mostly the southern region. Okay, while it is less preferred in the northern region. So similarly, there are a lot of brand like this, okay, which are listed in Amazon, Flipkart, and similarly, these brands are also listed in Walmart, okay, and any other examples you want to take, right? So the overall objective is in a given supermarket, there are more than 20 to 30,000 of different product that the supermarket basically purchase. Now, the major challenge that comes is some of the products are always in a high demand. So for an example, milk. Now, there is a brand called Heritage in the southern part of India, which is very much known. While there are Amul is also one of the brand which is very much known, and also there is a brand Mother Dairy where mostly it is operable in the eastern part of India. So now Amul is something which is cross sectional, means which covers northern Indian and eastern, western across the India. And then there are some local players as well. So if I have to take an example of Walmart, so which is a supermarket, now there will be some local players associated with some of the global players. And then these products will have a specific set of shelf life. Okay. Some of the products may be there in the store for a prolonged period and not in sale. and some of the products are always in demand, or always in, you can say, demand, as well as you can also define it as like today you procure, tomorrow it gets sold out. So if you can understand that out of 30,000 different products, so out of 30,000 different products which are high, which are having a high shelf life, then in that case, you will be able to basically, and you will be able to plan your procurement so that you procure those set of products which are having a less amount of shelf life, rather than you just leave out those set of product which has a very high shelf life, because your investment gets blocked out, right? Your amount of investment that you make gets blocked out. So you will mostly focus on high shelf life. Okay. uh, and you will stop procuring those products which has a high shelf. So if you can predict proactively that in upcoming year 2024 there are 10 products which has a very high shelf life, where if Walmart or any other supermarket procures those products, they have to wait for substantial amount of time to make the profit or to get the product sold. So hence, you stop procuring those set of products and make your business more cash flow friendly, or you will get more set of cash flows. So this is one of the common analytics that retail industry have it, and one of the classic example, like the retail industry basically get to see. So you go to any given retail, if you are working on a retail domain or you want to join retail domain, you can add this kind of use case in your resume. You can learn how to solve this kind of problem. What are the different algorithms that helps you to proactively predict the high shelf life value, right? Anybody, any questions so far? Now let's take some example related to, I'm just erasing all of those. So let's take some example related to Amazon and Flipkart. So you must have noticed about Big Billion Day, and like there are a lot of events where you get a lot of offers, right? So there are some analytics which runs behind, which helps us to predict the discounted amount, or predict the discount amount from the product, from the MRP. Now, somehow this uh, problem statement or this solution, that if you have to ask to predict the discount amount, how much discount you should give on a particular product. So uh, there is a brand which is, let's say, uh, let's take milk. Okay. Now, milk has many brands. So first brand is, let's say, Amul. The second brand is, let's say, Heritage. Third brand is, let's say, Milky Mist. These are the brands which are very prominent. Fourth brand is, let's say, Mother Dairy. And then there are a lot of local brand. Fifth brand is Godrej. There are so local brands. Now, which brand or which particular product of these brand should we give a discount and what is the amount of discount. So first is which all products should be given a discount. So one thing that you can understand from the previous problem statement where predict the high shelf life of the product. So you can link that solution with the next problem statement that those who have a high shelf life, you can basically give more discounts and offers to them. So that is one of the solution, right? So if your product is there in your store for past, let's say 200 plus days, okay, then you can definitely give some offer. If somebody is interested, will buy out first. So this is one of the given advantage that we can play off. Right? So now with that, you can understand that which particular product should be given a high discount. Now the next problem which we can put in is how much discount we should give on those high shelf life products, or the, how much discount we should give uh, where we are selecting for a high discount products. Okay, so that's the second question, is third question, sorry. So this is how we basically go ahead and determine. Okay, so if we can understand, if we can predict which product, and this happens in Amazon Big Billion Day sale, and there are a lot of Independence Day sale, Republic Day sale, there are a lot of sales that you get to see. Now I will just tell you that how does it happens. So the first point which comes in place is there are in at an online store there are even more than 30,000 products. There are more products, okay? Because online has no limit and it is across the country. So there are many, many products which comes. First of all, every product has 2 to 3 brands, okay? So one is the product, another is the brand. So let me write it down. So first of all, one particular category. So let's say the category is uh, butter. Okay. The butter has multiple different brands. So there are multiple brands. Like what are the brands you get to see here? So let's say these are the brands. Amul, Heritage, Milky Mist, Mother Dairy, Godrej. Because they are the producer of milk. So these are the same brand who also produce butter for us. Now every brand has specific set of product. Okay, fat-free butter. Every brand has specific set of products. So for an example, fat-free butter. Then the second would be salted butter. Third would be flavored butter, garlic butter. And like this, there are different type of product which is associated with a particular brand, right? So this is how the number of products gets increased. So there are 5 brands, assuming that there are 5 brands. Each brand has at least 3 to 4 category, right? So 5, 3, 15 different categories you come up of a same 15 different product you come up of a same category, which is butter. Now, out of these 15 different categories, which one we should give discount is something we need to predict. So like this, the total number of products increases. It goes beyond 30,000. And do you think somebody manually sitting and then predicting how much discount we should give? No, it is not possible on a daily basis to manually go and select. We will select this particular garlic butter of Milky Mist to give 30% discount. No, it doesn't happen in that way. All these are automated algorithms which basically goes ahead, scans your entire set of historic sales, understand all the historic sales, and then pick up those set of product which has a higher shelf life, and also try to predict that what would be the next shelf life. So those product which has a higher shelf life, we'll take those product, and then finally we will basically go ahead and understand that what discount we should give so that we get the best fit clearance. Okay, discount should also be in subtle way that people should come and purchase it out. Okay, so and then the discount value gets adjusted so that you as a buyer don't make any loss. Means not buyer, you as a seller don't make any loss because of a heavy discount. So the discount also needs to be adjusted within the same space. Okay, so we also go ahead and adjust the discount. So let's say on Monday you gave a heavy discount, on Tuesday there is no discount, on Thursday again a slight discount, a slight increment in the discount, and again on Wednesday then you get to improve or increase the discount rate bit high. Again on Thursday you make it lower. So based upon the consumption, so today you gave a discount, many people consume it. Now the inventory is meeting our demand or our forecasted demand, and then we stop giving discounts. So everything in this entire process gets automated, and then everything that we develop is also basically defined very well. So analytics, somebody asked the question that how analytics helps. So these are the areas where analytics basically helps to make your business fully automated, make your business emotionless, taking emotionless decisions. And at the same time, it helps us to understand that which is the best set of product, where should be the investment going through, how you want to sell any product, then which product will have a higher number of customers. All of these analytics is being taken care of. Any questions? Anybody, any doubts, any questions? Any one of you from retail background?
Hi Rishabh,
Yeah.
Nagarjun here.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, so actually currently I'm working on working on Power BI as a Power BI developer.
Okay.
So how this data analytics will help in my career growth?
Yeah. So as of now, you are working on the UI UX piece where you go ahead and plug in all your analytics into a dashboard form, right? You create a Power BI report. You
Yes,
are
yes.
creating that report for the org, and then somebody is using that report to do the analysis. But let's say, as I said, that reporting is one of the end journey of your entire analytics. So in the journey, so let me explain. So whatever I was explaining so far was the different use cases, that how it is solving the business. Now, let me explain that how it impacts your growth across your journey towards analytics. So reporting, whatever you are currently doing, Power BI. So reporting is the end journey. Let me write it down rather than try. So reporting is the end journey. Before reporting comes, there are two type of analysis, two type of journey that you get to see, and these journeys are very specific to the org. Okay, because every org has their own way of doing it, but now every orgs are evolving themselves. So the first part comes to data engineers who helps us with collating the data from different sources. So the data engineers or the data engineering team will actually collate all the data from different sources. And then comes to data analyst who basically goes ahead and analyze the entire data, because not every data is important. You also need to figure out from the bunch and pools of data, which set of data will actually help you to do those predictions, which we were discussing just few minutes back. Okay, which set of data will actually help us to know that what would be the predicted discount rate. So the data analyst tries to evaluate the data which is being given by the data engineers to us. And the data analyst helps us to analyze that data and understand, okay, so these are the set of informations which actually helps me to predict, or which actually says that what should be done in a given problem statement. So this is the job role of analytics, data analyst. Then there comes data scientist as well. So there is a difference between data analyst and data scientist. In our course, we don't try to make those difference. So what we do is we try to um, give same learning in our course. Okay, and we try to make an intersecting point where you also get an understanding of data analytics. At the same time, you also get an analytics of data science, because both are equally important. The data science team comes and add intelligence. They try to design an algorithm, a formula which helps to predict the examples which I gave, predict the discount bracket, predict which product will have a high self value, predict revenue, predict whether the customer will come or not. So these are the different kind of business questions. And if you have referred to those use cases, these are the common problem for every business, right? And then finally, whatever analysis. So now there are two multiple ways which the company try to promote. One is whatever you get the data, you go and report it. So this is one approach. So I will say approach one. So the Power BI developer will pull the data from data engineers, or pull the data from a different source. The data engineers will dump the data in a particular database, table, or a schema. And then the Power BI developer will pull the data from that particular schema and project it based upon the reporting needs. So this is one. And this is very simple, where the analysis is not present, but just a reporting dashboard comes. Then there are some companies who does both the things. They take the data out and then they do the analytics, and then they do the reportings. Okay. So analytics is more of like a root cause, why the shelf life is high. Okay. What are the top three reasons that you got a poor survey rating? Okay. This is what is analytics is. More of an understanding, exploring the data and understanding what are the root causes that creates an impact. The third and the fourth thing comes is the third thing basically, where you take the data science, analytics, and data engineers, and finally you build a solution. So this is more proactive in nature. So far, all the solutions in approach 1 and 2 was reactive in nature. Means event has already happened and then you are doing the analysis. Event has already happened and then you are pulling the data and projecting in a dashboard. While approach 3 is proactive, means you are predicting event will happen. Event will happen in upcoming 6 months or upcoming year. So in that case, the business gets an insight that what is going to happen in upcoming 3 years or upcoming 1 year or upcoming 12 months. That is more important, because if you know it proactively, then you can intervene in your business proactively, right? You can make the things fixed proactive. If you know that product X has a high shelf life, then proactively, if you know, then you will not purchase and make the stocks available and block your money in your for your retail business, right? So if somebody knows that it is a high shelf-life product, then they will not go ahead and block that money. They will not invest in that particular product and they will not block their money. Rather, the money will be left for those product which has a lower shelf life, where if you improve the overall distribution of money, you will get a faster yield, right? So data science makes the entire system proactive. Here also the reporting comes in place. So currently you are only just reporting. So with analytics and data science, you will be able to add and give an additional skills towards proactively predicting, finding out all the root causes, and then do the causal analysis and then do the report. So in your career, you will get a boost towards lot of things. First is your tech stacks will expand. It is not only Power BI or ClickSense or ClickView or Tableau. Rather, you are now incorporating logics, you are incorporating Python and other different tech stack, which helps to predict. You can grow up to your portfolio in a much larger scale. So currently you will be a reporting manager and then you will not land into a proper division of analytics, because reporting is just one part of it. There are another 3 to 4 parts, right? So hence, uh, if you learn this skill, then your portfolio will increase, which will give you much wider responsibility and which in turn helps you to grow in your career. I hope this answers your question.
Yes, Rishabh. And one last question from my end. If any person want to switch to data analytics, so I heard the person should know any of the programming language, either Python or R programming. So according to your experience, what is the most language? I mean, the
Python.
people. Yeah.
So if you use R, R is very specific to the environment, so it cannot be reused in a wider scale. So Python is
Okay.
always most preferred, and in our course also we teach Python first before we start with any of these use cases. So first few days to few weeks, we completely focus on Python, and then we give you a small Python project to work upon so as to make yourself completely self-reliant and give you more confidence in analytics. So first few weeks, 2 weeks, we basically teach Python. And then after, from the third week, we give you a small project where we also help you to complete that project and understand that how to solve and what all the thought process you should develop in order to solve your project. And finally, after that, we start our analytics journey. We start learning how to predict, how to do analysis, what are the different libraries, and there are a lot more things which comes. Okay. Anybody else? Any other questions you have?
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah.
So when you say that we have to learn these programming languages like R or Python or whatever, how do we how deep do we have to be? Like, can we just learn the intermediate level, or does it have to be advanced level, or how deep of the programming languages do you need to know in order to become a data analytics?
Very good question. So I would say that as you are all kick starting with analytics, beginner to intermediate level. So your objective is always advanced. But in order to get you landed into a first job of your analytics, then at least intermediate role or intermediate level of understanding on Python is needed. So we also understand that, and hence you can just skip R. R is not mandatory. Nobody in your analytics will ask you R, because R is something which slowly opposite. Python coming in present, it's booming, and that's the only thing we left out. Okay. So you can just focus on one programming language, which is Python. Slowly you start with the beginning scale, and then over the period of time until the end of the course, you should be having near about uh, intermediate level skill. In our course, we also include advanced topics of Python. So as if somebody who is ready to consume should be knowing those concepts. But you can eventually skip those advanced topic, which maybe 2 to 4 hours of advanced topics which comes in place, mostly 4 hours basically. So you can attend those sessions, but may not actively learn those. But later on, once you get your intermediary skills, you can rewind those 4 hours and um, get that understanding of advanced topics. So mostly the people do so. So they understand the intermediary and beginner level, and they mostly hear out that 4 hour to 6 hours to understand how the concepts works. That's it, but not really practicing it out. But later on, once they have a good amount of intermediary skill, then they start practicing it. And we also try to understand that where the entire learning curve is going towards, and based upon that we recommend, and we also shuffle some of the topics which we teach it towards the end once we have a good amount of exposure and practice, right? So that is how. So intermediate level is more than enough for analytics.
Thank you.
And if you have to grow towards data science, then definitely you need an advanced level. And at the same time, if you are going and applying for a top tier companies like Google, Microsoft, so they basically go ahead and judge you based upon uh, how fast you are writing code. It's not about just writing the logic, but how that logic was developed, whether it is scalable to 1 million users, 10,000 users, whatever it is. So all those things comes in place, and we basically recommend accordingly whenever and whatever is needed. So that's the journey. So initially you can start with beginner and intermediary level analytics, join and land and get an exposure. After spending few years in those companies, you will get a complete picture that how the world is, and then you can prepare for bigger companies like Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and prepare for that particular role, because you also need to prepare for those specific roles because their needs are a bit different than the other needs. So company to company these needs changes, which
Okay,
you will.
what about SQL? How do we use SQL? How often
Yes.
in
So
data
SQL is
analytics?
also a kind of you can say that 70 to 80% of your time you spend with SQL and Python. So um, if I break it 50-50, so 50% you spent in Python, 50% you spent in SQL. So we
And do we
also,
get hands-on on the SQL and also in Python in the training?
yes, both.
Okay.
SQL will be more like a real world use cases we will be working on. So
Mhm.
mostly we are going to learn from Snowflake. So Snowflake is one of the latest warehouse and latest tech stack. So you get to see an exposure, have an exposure on Snowflake, so which is one of the latest tech stack of SQL, you can say. So SQL
Okay.
is a bit older, but what we try to show is the real-time production Snowflake, and then Azure Data Factory as well. So Azure Cloud Stack as well. So these are the things that will be incorporated in our course while we start our learning. And eventually Python is like everywhere present. So first we start with Python, and then we move to SQL, because Python is something which is universal. And then we move to SQL, and then finally we land into the analytics algorithms.
Okay.
Cool. Anybody else? Any questions? Some of the examples, let me take to supply chain. I got to see some questions out there. So supply chain is something which is the need and supporting business of all the business. Like, this is not only specific to a particular specific industry, but it's itself is an industry because it is supporting so many other industries, logistic and supply chain. And now in the world of digital era, where you have a digital health, you have a digital retail business, and almost all the businesses are now expanding through their digital capabilities. So supply chain is one of the important player towards meeting the goal of digital journey. So you might have seen that the delivery boys, um, they get their scheduled orders, and they also get their scheduled routes to each and every customers. So if you take an Amazon delivery guy who delivers nearly 30-40 orders in a day, so there are different analytics and algorithms which helps to predict that in a given route how many orders can be delivered, predict the number of orders to be delivered in a given route. So this is very, very important. Like, number of orders that you can deliver. So let's say you are going from a location X to location Y. Okay, location X to location Y. So, or you are going from location X to location Z. If you go through location X to Y, then you will be able to deliver, let's say, 40 orders. While you go from location X to Z, then you will be able to deliver only 35 orders. So like that, the algorithm estimates that how the journey will be. And at different timings, there will be different set of criteria, different set of traffic, different set of delivery needs, and there will be different phenomenon which we will be able to see that. So in that case, what we observe that the algorithms very specifically, now it is not possible for any human being or a set of group of people to go and set the routes every day, right? Rather, it becomes much easier, much comfortable. We feel more comfortable in a case where the algorithms helps us to set the routes, help us to set the different delivery points where we are going to deliver. Right? So this is one of the biggest example of supply chain in the field of analytics. One such example is this. Other examples are specifically, you might have also seen the logistic team are very much focused on specific delivery dates, right? So if a product is scheduled for a delivery, because based upon the customer needs, these delivery dates are decided by the end users, right? So the delivery date, all these analytics are supported in a way so that it mitigates not only the fastest route and number of products getting delivered, rather it also needs to mitigate that it should be delivered within the given scheduled delivery time, so that we respect what we commit, right? So these kind of use cases are powered with analytics because of the reason where we need to commit the benefit of it. So that's one of the key important aspects of supply chain analytics. Any questions? Now, moving on to the next use case. I would love to take the use case from my specialization, which is on healthcare, and it's one of the booming area where we are improving and we are moving towards. So in the healthcare, there are a lot of things like if we can predict which patients will suffer from cancer in upcoming 5 years, let's say, which set of patient will suffer from cancer in upcoming 5 years. So if we can predict this, then it will eventually help us to identify that who are the set of those patients. And at the same time, it will also help us to identify that how can we make them better. It's not always about money, but it is also about the care. How can we help those set of patients, or how can we enhance their treatment? How can we enhance their life? All right. So this becomes one of the very important use case. And not only with cancer, like I just took the example of cancer, it can be of any given disease. Not necessary to cancer. Right? So this is one of the use case. Predict which drug do have side effect on a particular patient. So these are the very important questions. Sometimes the doctor may not know that some XYZ drug can have a side effect because the doctor may not know that your body is not ready to consume that particular drug. So mostly what the doctor does is they give you the medicine of 5-6 days to understand, and they always ask you to report back until the doctor is very quite sure that, okay, you take this medicine, then come back after 2 months, you will be all good, or you just give a report after 2 months. In that case, doctor becomes very sure. Right? But in this particular case, most of the cases where the disease is just sudden or acute, in a sense, then the physician cannot estimate that whether you will have a side effect with a particular drug. And there are many more such examples. Okay, not only specific to the disease. Some of the examples are business-driven example in health. How much the patient can pay so that you can also charge accordingly. If the patient can pay much higher, then their treatment journey can include different other extra added component, which may not be very much flexible for a patient who cannot pay, right? Now, what happens is like patient who can pay, who may not have that ability to pay, sorry, if they are billed with a high amount, either one of the option left out is the patient cannot proceed with that diagnosis or with that disease journey, or the patient has to somewhere left out or leave behind the entire journey from that particular hospital or move it to some other hospital. So in that case, you lose the prospect, right? You lose that patient, you lose that customer. Maybe the patient will not come again. So charging the right amount to the right cohort of people is also very much important, so that you are always on top of your customers who are coming and you also care about them. Okay. You care about them as well. So this is another example. Any questions? Anybody? You can feel free to discuss if you have any other questions. Now, so I'm trying to cover all the different industries. So as whichever industry you go and apply, whichever company you go and apply will either fall under any of these industries. And you will be able to crack some example which we are going to learn. Coming to finance. Is one of the classic example. Predicting stock market price. This is one of the example. Predicting stock market price, predicting the credit risk. This is also very, very important. Predicting the credit risk. If you can predict the credit risk, then the bank will be able to solve all the bad debts that they have given. Okay, there will be no defaulters. Okay, so I can write it down. Stock market price. Evaluate KYC. You see, there are a lot of scams in bad debts because of the KYC flaws. Maybe you have a personal touch up with particular KYC guy in a given bank. So you get a faster loan, you get a more amount of approved loan. And maybe you are not eligible to get that if it has been taken from the financial standpoint. But as you know that guy, you get a better loan, good amount of loan. So if we evaluate the KYC without any human intervention, then it is much, much beneficial for us as well as you, because you don't make any default. So you are able to save the money. You are able to improve your credit risk. And at the same time, the bank doesn't get any bad debt. Okay. So these are some of the examples of finance use cases. And I tried to cover almost all the sectors: retail, supply chain, healthcare. Sorry. Any questions? Any doubts?
Are we done with this session, Rishabh?
No, I'll just come up with the last thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So now, finally, how will our course structure look like? So let us understand that. And so in the journey of this entire 6 month, and sorry, I'll just write it out in spite of drawing. So the first basically 2 weeks, we will come up with beginner level Python. Then the next 2 week will be more for a practice session. Okay. So as you become first comfortable with Python, the course is designed in a way so that you learn as well as you get an opportunity to practice as well initially, because getting an uphold in Python is mandatory, okay, for your analytics. So this is more of a practice session. So in practice session, whatever we learned in the first 2 weeks, we will basically cover up with an example on this particular week, where you will also contribute. Wherever you get stuck, I will be helping you. Now, post this, we expect that you get a good understanding in Python. At least you get a moderate about sense of understanding in Python. And then after we start our intermediary Python, which is for another 2 weeks. Here we start an intermediary Python. We learn about different data analytics component. And then once this 2 weeks is completed, we give another 2 weeks to go ahead and do this practice session again. Now, this practice session is a bit different because in this practice session, you will be given a real-time problem statement. Okay. And where in this given problem statement, you have to apply whatever you have learned so far and start contributing into this practice session. Post this, we start our SQL journey where we spend near to 4 weeks. And then finally, we have another practice session, which is for 1 week. Because by this time, you also come to know about SQL. Some of the concepts are repetitive in Python. Whatever you do in Python, you are doing the same thing in SQL. And some of the concepts may be new in SQL as well. So it's a repetitive and new. So we give a 1 week of practice session here. And then we kick off our algorithm. So the rest of the time that we left out with, we keep focusing on the different algorithms, solving different problems. So every day we are going to solve a new problem. In a week, 2 new problems. Some of the times the problem might continue up to next 2 weeks because these are all industry problems which may be solved in a short notice, or you may also need some more time. So we keep solving, and then finally we come up to a capstone project on the last date of your 6 month. This capstone project sustains up to a month, 1 month, where you need to work end-to-end project, showcase in your LinkedIn. And on that particular project, you will be given a certificate by Management Career Institute with their Canadian counterparts. And you will be finally certified in data analytics professional. So this is the overall journey where it not only helps you to learn, as well as these practice sessions helps you to actually practice and then learn and practice, learn and practice. You may not get a good amount of time in your working days. So hence we have observed that if we continuously learn, then in that case, you may lose up the space on which you are learning. Hence, we have introduced these practice sessions for a week or 2 weeks. Mostly towards the beginning, we introduce a bit more because as you are learning, you may stuck up with multiple things. You may not be very comfortable. While towards the end, we reduce the practice session, we focus on learning because by that time, you become more comfortable and you understand. So this is how the overall journey of your next 6 months would look like. Anybody, any questions on this?
So when you say that you're going to provide, then we have to do the beginner session, then we have the practice. Are you guys going to provide us a software, a learning software, or do we just do it like online through a website, or how does this work?
So it will be like, we will give you, so we will help you with those Python and the different tools that you need to get downloaded in your system. And along with that, we will give you the data. In the practice sessions, we in spite of having the regular sessions of 2 hours, what we have in weekends, we will be having 1 hour session. And in that 1 hour session, where I am not going to deliver anything, whatever you whatever doubts you have, whatever you have been working through that particular problem statement, I will be there to help you to solve those doubts.
So
So
are
it
we
will,
able to use the tools during not the
yes,
training time?
yeah, in the training as well. So
Yeah,
it's
in the training and after training when we are trying to do some practice or something during
correct.
the regular week.
Yeah. It is like more of like while training, I'm going to write the code. I'm going to showcase you all of those things on my system. And during the practice session, you will be primarily working on the code while I will be mentoring you on getting wherever you get stuck. So that whatever I teach you in these 2 weeks, you get a very good hands-on on those in the upcoming 2 weeks. Again, whatever I teach in the next 2 weeks, you get a very good hands-on on those in the upcoming 2 weeks. And finally, once you are ready with Python, because this is the only period, this is the only thing that you need to learn. Rest part is much, much easier. The algorithm and this part is easy. But this part is bit adaptive in nature. Like the more you practice and the more time you spend, the better you will be doing in this part. But overall, this part is much easier as compared to this. Because you are learning to a new programming language. This journey is bit changing journey, while the other part is much easier. You will be comfortable in the rest of, including SQL. So SQL will also, we will have that logical sense, logical idea on how you're going to solve. So hence the practice session is just 1 week. You are going to use those tools from day one itself, but the practice sessions are more like you will work, you will solve the problem, and I will be just guiding you as a mentor. While the regular lectures are like, I will be getting you to the entire code and I will be writing the code and you will be mostly kind of learning from there. But just learning won't help. You also need to do the practice, something like that. Sorry. Any other questions?
Are we done, Rishabh?
Yeah, mostly I'm done from my side. Anybody, any questions?
So, guys, the window is open to everyone regarding to discuss all your doubts, queries, whatever has been discussed so far. In terms
In
of
terms of
anyone would be
anyone would be
interested with
interested
the course and other discussion, I'll be available. And for technical queries, Rishabh is available for some time. So the platform is open to everyone. So I wish sure and I invite everyone to unmute and discuss whatever queries they do have it. So I can respond it accordingly and will take it forward from there. And meanwhile, I would also request to submit your polls so that it will help us to improve all our upcoming sessions in the coming time.
So just one question. What is the software you're going to use for the creating the dashboards?
Mostly Power BI, and there are some libraries with Python like Seaborn, Matplotlib, Chart Studio, Plotly. So these are the tools that we use Python to create the dashboard.
And What is the fee structure, sir? Like how I can get to know about the fee structure when about?
Yeah, so you can register with us, or I'll be sharing the details of my number and email ID. You can drop either email and or reach out to us over via call. We'll share you all the brief. As of now, one important thing, like we've been running this flat 50% off for this new batch. So yeah, you can avail this 50% flat off, and it's a one-time fee. Uh, for the entire program, there is no monthly or subscription charges or rentals are there. So I think we, for the people who are in the overseas market, we have PayPal and USD models are available. So let me share you the details, or they can stay over here with us. So I can help out with them to proceed with all this stuff. I hope you would be able to see the email ID, everyone, and the contact number to reach out to us for to avail the special offers and discounts. Everyone?
Okay, I mean, where you are situated, sir? Where in India?
So we are based out of the central India. We are into the Madhya Pradesh. From Indore, we've been operating it, and we've been operating worldwide. The major markets with our online programs where we operate are the US, Canada, Mexico, Latin America. We have started exploring it out. Then we'll have Middle East and the Indian markets, and a bit of an European locations as well. So probably I'll update you that whatever be the new batch, we're gonna form it from the next weekend onwards. So you will be a part of global cohort batch where you will be having the professionals coming from different geographies, different industries with diverse backgrounds. So that is how you're gonna get the another impact in terms of professional peer-to-peer networking and getting exposed to different markets, the understandings, how we solve the problems with those markets, the industries. So that is an add-on on the top of your learning.
Yeah, like you will be giving coaching for the interview calls, preparing for the
Yes.
interview.
So by the end of the program, Rishabh will help out you with this preparation part, that how you have to get it prepared. He'll guide you and he'll make you prepare. And by the post completion of the program, so we will give you the entire access of our community portals where we keep publishing our global opportunities that keep landing in our network. So you can avail those opportunity post completion of the program.
And recommendations will be given for like if you are particular about any country, like for those countries, you'll make us to prepare and for the interviews or
Yeah,
companies.
so we are working on with the global content itself in the program. So there is nothing to worry about that it is specific or limited to one particular geography. So it is like you can apply all this content and executions across diverse parts of the world.
Rishabh, where are you in the States?
Yeah, please come again.
No, I was asking Rishabh, where is he from the States?
He's operating like from Bangalore and Hyderabad at the moment.
Okay.
Bangalore, sir, physical.
No, so we are into the online space only. So there is no physical training models are available. Although the best part is we are not serving the recorded content. We are more designing the live course schedule like we are interacting with each other right now. So you will having the schedule for the next 5 to 6 months in our portal where we'll give you the login access and then you can book your calendar accordingly and then come live on every weekend with the Rishabh and all your batchmates.
So if I'm particularly targeting for the US market, like will I be getting support for that?
Yeah, so in assistance part, we keep sharing the opportunities available, whatever be landing in our network. Plus, on the top of it, we help you to get prepared in the program itself. Then we also encourage the professional networking where we have, let's say, suppose we have folks who already been a part of community or who will be joining in the live course. They'll help you to recommend into their organizations depending on to the opportunities. And parallelly, we also try to recommend you whatever be the upper hand we have it with the opportunities available. But again, it isn't part of an assistance. But I assure you that I think if you complete the program with a sincere dedication, I think with the single LinkedIn post itself, you would be able to crack the opportunities, the kind of an capstone projects and the content and the executions we have done it. So we have seen the transitions earlier as well. But again, the support is also available from our
All right. Thank you, sir.
end. For overseas market, we have like PayPal links are available for the USD, and for Indian audience, we have the payment gateway where I can you can reach out to us or I can share the link. So accordingly, you can proceed with this payment, and then we'll give you the entire login access of our portals. And yes, one more thing that whatever be the live sessions we're gonna run, we'll do the recording, parallel recording, like we are doing it right now. So that in case you missed out any sessions, you can get back and log into the community portals or the LMS, whatever will be making it available to you. And then again, you get back to those recordings and again join the new session with on the same page. I would be more happy if I'll get the more doubts and the queries from the community so that I'll give them the more clarity, the kind of an values we've been adding to their portfolios.
First, like I just wanted to ask, first we'll be starting with the Python programming, then SQL, and then Power BI, right?
Yeah, so with Python, we'll get started with the Python, then you'll be getting exposed to the SQL, Postgres, and then you'll be getting exposed to the Power BI. And then probably uh, in between, either you get exposed to the machine learning concepts or the algorithm for the prediction part. And then probably by the end of the program, you'll have this interview preparation modules are available. And yes, there's a bit of a cloud exposure as the instructor told to you.
Thank you.
Saida, am I
Yes.
audible to you?
Yeah. Tell me, I'm hearing.
No, so because you've shown interest, so uh, is anyone wants me to share the payment gateway link right now, or anyone wants to discuss further about it over email or via WhatsApp number something, or anyone wants me to connect individually if he wants to discuss one to one with them, so do let me know.
You can share this one fee structure, let me go through it and let me go.
Saida,
Kindly
I can't hear you. Could you be a bit louder because you have just connected through iPhone?
wanted to know this one. What is the syllabus? Like how you're going to proceed? What is that table of contents?
Yeah. So I think I've already shared this URL link website. Okay, let me share you once again. Just give me a minute. Are you able to get the link?
Yes.
Yeah, so you can download the curriculum from there itself. Plus, you can drop email to us or via phone call. I'll send you the entire curriculum details. I hope you have registered with us over the forms. We've asked people to submit. Anyone who left and who has not submitted the form? Okay, let me. I have also shared this registration form link as well, so that those who have directly joined the Zoom meeting links, they can again uh, uh, click on the form and submit their details. So the course fee would be uh, as of now we've been offering flat 50% off for the entire program. So it is 15,000, 15K in INR and 185 USD for overseas audience. It's a one-time fee. There is no monthly or subscription models are available. So you don't have to worry much about that. You have to get into the subscription or rentals. So just a one-time fee for the entire 5 to 6 month of program. You don't have to invest a single penny on the top of it. That includes everything from mentoring to delivery to certifications to assistance and everything. That includes everything. And this is like a flat 50% off that we've been offering at the moment.
The placements are guaranteed or
No, the assistance only there. So there is no guarantees there. The assistance, we work with the assistance model as of now. Like we'll help you to get prepared, and then probably we keep on liaising with the our vendors and the partners with different geographies, and we try to give the upper hand by recommending you to those opportunities. But ultimately, I believe it is the you who has to perform. Now coming to the class timing, so it would be like majorly will be running on weekends every Saturday, Sunday. Two hours of sessions will be there, and the tentative timeline would be Indian 7 to 9 or 9 to 11, depending on to the majority vote for that particular batch. So I think this is the tentatively timelines where we have seen that the majority of the participants across different parts of the world accommodate. So PM, it is PM, 7 to 9 PM and 9 to 11 PM.
give a hands-on experience, experience about this.
Please come again. I lost you in between.
On experience, like
Yeah. So it will be purely live experience. The moment you entered the live course, I think the instructor will take you through the hands-on experience from the day one till the last day of your course. So there is nothing you have to worry about. He'll help you to download all the relevant open source tools and technologies at your system. He'll help you to guide, and then he'll start doing the hands-on where they will be sharing the codes and all the content with you. So let me share you the screen as well, where in case if you want to see, I can share you those screens. Anyone who wish to see. So we have the portals available where we give the login access where you can get the recordings, plus you'll get the codes, you'll get the content that we have developed so far. It's uploaded over there for your support and add-on value in terms of learning material and the new developments. It's been happening worldwide. I hope I have given almost all the contact coordinates to everyone. Anyone who left who doesn't have our. Okay, AI tools will be shared. So guys, I think with the open source tools and technologies, you would be able to implement through algorithms and all these things. AI tools, so I mean like this is AI tools have different objectives. For data analytics exposure, you need to work with the open source tools and technologies, with the coding and all other stuff, integration of technologies.
this will be 6 months course, not less than that.
Yeah, so 5 months is more of a delivery content, and I think 1 month they've added because of the practice material as well. Like the instructor told you that you'll be given time for the practicing and all other things. I hope I make sense to you, or like anything. If you I lost in between, please let me know.
So, like, I just wanted to ask, like, if a person knows Power BI and Python, I just training in hands-on training on projects. Is it? Do you have any courses, something like that?
So basically, see, when we talk to address the common communities, we have to go with every module. So we can't split it into individual modules because again, it is a very niche query and demands comes from individuals. I hope you are able to understand. So let's say suppose we got the inquiries from the people who are coming from non-tech backgrounds or to diverse industries. So we have to build it from the scratch by default. So we cannot split it up for the particular modules. So let's say suppose those who have already a bit of an exposure, either they can come and join the live course and they'll discuss the more advanced features and the content with respect to that particular module or technology. So instructor would help out to you for that the same thing.
So your good name, sir?
So this is Kunal Soni representing Management Career Institute, Marcom team. Any more queries? I hope I have shared all these things. So let me share you once again the email ID where you can drop your det details if you're interested. So I can share those payment gateway and course curriculum files attached to the email itself responded to you. Or you can reach out to us for a WhatsApp number directly for the interaction. So anyone who is interested to join our new upcoming batch running from next weekend onwards, if anyone, please let me know so I can handle or help out to them with the next proceeding.
I am interested. I told you, right, Kunal?
Sana, yes, I think you have all the details with you. So you
Yes.
just need to proceed with this, the pending payment gateway, and then I'll onboarding you with the details. Saida, did you got a chance to fill the registration form?
No, no, not yet. I will just do that.
So are you also interested with the course?
Yeah, I am interested, but I know Power BI.
No,
And
so the best part is probably the instructor will take you through the industry applications where he'll expose you that how you have to build this dashboards. So anyway, I mean like he'll give it a briefing in terms of features initially, but then he'll help you to design the dashboard with reference to solving the business problems. So I keep on saying that although even if you have acquired the basic features, so again this course will help you to get exposed to the advanced execution structures. So instructor will not limit. I'm like we are not here to discussing this basic features. We are more here to discuss the problems which business are facing with different industries and how you can come up with the solutions as a data analyst professional. That's the beauty of the entire program.
Mhm.
So and that applies to almost all the technologies and modules available. We have it. So let's say suppose you just name it and then instructor will take a problem statement and then he'll start executing on the data and make you understand that how he's coming to a solution. He's approaching a solution. How he's coming concluding a solution and what are the recommendations you have to present it to the senior leaders to work out with the different business units or the processes.
Okay. I need only the practical application part, like, you know, how to handle the business
I
problems.
keep on saying from the day one you entered in the program, so it's a proper hands-on experience.
Okay.
So there is nothing theoretical we're gonna much discuss about it. Instructor will take you through the live execution experience the moment you have onboarding the program. So you can, I mean, like this is what we can assure you, and you can expect the same because we do not believe in the academic content and we do not believe with those theoretical models. We believe in pure implementation and execution experience. So we want our community to grow. We want people to have real-time experience and trust us like you will have this real-time data experience, whatever be the projects we have been running it in the backend. You'll be getting exposed to the live data production experience with all these modules and this hands-on. Oh, it's been happening throughout the program. Provided, but yes, we expect a bit of sincerity and practice from your end because there is no substitution. You keep seeing the instructor doing the coding and all other execution, and if you are not doing and performing at your end, then I believe there is no substitution.
True, true.
So we also expect a bit of a practice from your end, whatever has been teaching or giving it to you, delivering it to you. So the more you put in efforts to do the practice, I think you'll come up as an mature data analyst professional by the end of the program. And all these things like opportunities would be just an uh, like choice to you. Amazing opportunities are available with the US, Canadian, and different markets. It's just that how you demonstrate your skill set and how you justify your capstone projects to the recruiting managers and putting it in front of the communities. I think that's the game changer for everyone. And we have been constantly seeing over a period of an years where we have seen that the professionals who have really put in efforts in demonstrating those skill sets and making an impact with their life capstone projects, they've got the transitions. They've seen this growth, an amazing thing. Anyone else who has any doubts? Guys, I would request that please drop an email to our email ID with all your interests so that we can share you. Or anyway, let me share you the link here directly itself. In case anyone wants to confirm it right now, they can do it. So this is our payment link where you will have this, will get your confirmation details and will uh, give you the entire login and all this access of our program. And yes, we'll be getting starting by the 24th of Feb next weekend onwards.
So Kunal, can I drop off and are you going to send the schedule for next
Yeah,
week
please.
in
You
the
already
group?
have the details with you over email ID.
Yes,
You
I'm going
just
to
need to get it
continue with
processed.
the the rest of the things what we've discussed. I will like keep you posted once I'm done. Okay.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for the time.
Bye.
Bye. Anyone else who wants to connect and discuss? They can unmute and we'll have a bit of a discussion.